What's up, guys? It's Jensen and welcome to another video. So looking back at the 2018 NBA draft class, that looks like a draft class that's going to be good for a really long time. There's a lot of stars in that class, and it might end up being the greatest draft class of all time. And while it might not have the high-end talent of the 1984 NBA draft class, which had obviously Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, and John Stockton, like, those are 4 Hall of Famers. I'm not sure if this class is going to be as good as that class in terms of high-end talent, but this class is deep, and it might be better than that class ultimately in the end. I mean, when we're looking at Luka Doncic and Trae Young, these two dudes are transcendent superstars, and we've already seen them make such a big impact for their teams. They were both all-star starters at such a young age. I think those dudes, this draft class, the way it's going to be remembered, a lot of it is going to be based on how Luka Doncic and Trae Young end up playing. I predict that those dudes will end up being future Hall of Famers. But don't forget about Jaren Jackson Jr. This dude, he could be a defensive anchor in the future, in my opinion. This dude could be a multi-time All-Star. He could be a Hall of Famer for sure. He can space the floor. He can do a lot of things that not many people can do at 7 foot. He's very mobile for a 7-footer. I really feel like paired with John Morant, that's going to help Jaren Jackson Jr. This dude, we shouldn't forget about Jaren Jackson Jr., honestly. He can ball. Don't forget about DeAndre Ayton either. This dude, even though you can argue that drafting him over Luka Doncic and Trae Young was a mistake, he's capable of averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds per game. We've seen him dominate games, not consistently, but from time to time, we've seen DeAndre Ayton absolutely take over games. So I think that if he continues to do up, he's a potential future All-Star. And the crazy thing about this draft is that the weak link is Marvin Bagley. That's really what I find hilarious. The dude is averaging like 15 points per game. He's a very solid starting power forward for the Sacramento Kings. And a lot of people act like he's this huge bust because he was drafted over, obviously, Trae Young and Luka Doncic. But Marvin Bagley is going to be really good. He's going to be good for the next decade plus, in my opinion. Look past the top 5, though. I mean, look at Colin Sexton. The dude, he was really starting to get into his own groove. He's a really good scoring point guard, in my opinion. And he's going to be a multi-time All-Star. He was literally lighting it up before the NBA season suspension. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, another potential future All-Star. He could do a lot of things really good. He's really well-rounded. There isn't a clear weakness in his game. I really feel like he's going to be a multi-time All-Star. Wendell Carter Jr. for the Chicago Bulls does a lot of the dirty work. Reminds a lot of Al Horford 2.0. And I think that he might be an All-Star, although I'm not sure the stats will be there. But certainly he's going to be a good player. We're going to remember him. Mikal Bridges, he was drafted 10th overall by the Phoenix Suns. The dude is a nice 3-and-D weapon. He's going to be relevant in the league for the next decade plus, in my opinion. Michael Porter Jr. still the wild card of this draft. If he can stay healthy, we know that this dude could have been the number 1 overall pick. So he still has potential to be a multi-time All-Star. So he's still a wild card in this draft. So you can argue that a lot of these players who were drafted in the draft lottery of this class could be potential All-Stars. That's a deep class. It's a deep class. There's still guys like Mo Bamba and Kevin Knox where the jury's still out on these guys. Some dudes are late bloomers. They might end up being relevant players as well. So other than Jerome Robinson, who doesn't seem like he's going to do much in the league, the rest of this lottery has a lot of potential. So I think that that's the main reason why I think the 2018 draft class could end up being the best one. But look past the lottery. I mean, Devontae Graham was drafted with like the 34th overall pick, if I remember correctly. The dude is a stud. He can put the ball in the bucket. He might be the Mike Conley of this era. Not in terms of play, but like he's going to put up a ton of points. He's going to be a really good player. We're going to talk about him a lot. Even though he might not ever be an All-Star, he's going to be a really good player that we remember, in my opinion. Aaron Holiday and Jalen Brunson will each be really good backup point guards, in my opinion. Kevin Huerter and Landry Shamet, these dudes are 3-point snipers. They'll be the next Kyle Korvers, I'd say. The next JJ Reddick. These are the next 2 dudes, in my opinion. They'll be relevant for the next decade plus. Lonnie Walker and Shake Milton, I think these dudes can end up being electric 6 men for their respective teams. Especially Shake Milton. We saw what he did for Philadelphia in a couple of games that he was able to play. I think that he's going to be a really solid player. Josh Okogie is a nice energy-giving shooting guard. He should be a relevant bench player or even starter for the next decade plus. And that's only a few players in this draft. This draft is full of studs. I didn't even mention Dante DiVincenzo. What he's doing off the bench for the Milwaukee Bucks is absolutely sensational. He should only get better. There's a ton of studs. A lot of dudes who are going to be in this league for a long time. A lot of potential all-stars. And that's why I really think ultimately that this draft class might end up being the best one of all time. Not in terms of high-end talent, once again, because I don't think guys like Luka Doncic, Jaren Jackson Jr., or Trae Young, they're not going to reach the Jordan or even Hakeem Olajuwon levels, in my opinion. Or when we're looking at the 2003 draft class, they might not reach a LeBron level. But the depth of this draft class gives it a chance to be maybe the greatest of all time. That's all I had to say, though. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'll be providing for NFL and NBA hot takes as the season goes on, and have a good day. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Jensen Sports. See y'all later.